Hello again. So hopefully you've all launched Revit at this stage. I'm using the Revit 2019 educational version. There's more recent versions, so 2020 and 2021. However, nothing really has changed for the sake of this tutorial. Everything is pretty much the same. So what we'll do now is we'll just, to understand the user interface, we'll open a sample project and navigate through it to see how the basic interface works in Autodesk. So what you want to do is, once you have this window open, you go on Architectural Template, click on that, just wait for it to load, and as you can see here, this is the typical empty template you'll get when working with Revit. So the two most important panels you have are to the left over here. So you have the Properties panel and the Project Browser panel. The Properties panel, once you click on an item in your viewport over here, this gives you the property of the items that you clicked in and enables you to edit some certain information on there. With the navigation panel, this allows you to navigate through the different views and sheets you have in your project. At the moment it's empty, but let's say we have different floor levels, we can navigate to the ground floor or the first floor or to the site, etc., and to the 3D plane. And most of your commands you'll find right at the top here is structured in tabs. So you can see here the architecture, which mostly combines architectural elements and annotations and room separators, etc. Just over there. This is more for structural engineering. Again, engineering, some M&E systems. This is to link external resources, for example a PDF or an image. Annotation, this is analysis, massing, etc. So what we want to do now is go on the file, just hover over open, click on this arrow and click on sample files. As you can see here, we have a list of samples that we can select from. You can see it popping up in the window over here. What we want to do is have this basic sample project and then we just open it like this. It'll just take a moment to load. As you can see here, the first thing that comes up is this window over here. So what we need to know is each of these, in our project browser over here, we can see the A title sheet, this one over here, has been highlighted, which means we're currently in that view. So we can change and see different views, just like that, by clicking on the different sheets. Sorry. So these are the sheets already in the template. To see the actual information behind an actual model, what we'll do is just go on floor plans. So level 1. Once we click on that, we can see that we have an architectural drawing over here of a residential building. We see some room annotations, structural grid, some other annotations of room separations, etc. You can also see the same for level 2. You can see some of the dimensions over here annotated as well. We can click on site to see the site. As you can see here, clearly has a depth, and it's clearly, we can select each item individually as such. To see the model in 3D, we have two ways of doing that. We can either click on the 3D views over here and click on this 3D in the curly brackets. This means it will just take us to a kind of a 3D way to interrogate the model, or we can do it from the top over here just by clicking on that. To zoom in and out, we use the scroll wheel. We also hold the scroll wheel and move around to pan around the project, and by holding down shift and holding down the scroll wheel as well, we can rotate around. So if you select an item in Revit and you rotate around, you'll rotate around that item that you selected. So you can see here, if I'm rotating around that windmill is always in the same place. You can do the same here. I can rotate around like this. So we can zoom in to this 3D model. As you can see, all these items are modeled in 3D. Once we select an item in our properties, we can see the properties that that item has. So we can see it's a basic roof with metal panels. If you go on edit type, you can see things such as the structure. If you go on edit, you see the roofing, a thickness of 40 mil, softwood 100 mil. These are the core boundaries. We'll get onto those later. And then we have the structure over here, again, wood and gypsum board. You can change and override these settings, but we're not going to play with them for now. We'll do that in a later tutorial. So again, it's useful to demonstrate how everything is modeled in 3D, and by taking different levels and creating a cut through, we can see that we can produce architectural drawings from them at the same time. So these are other views that are saved to the project. So an approach. So these are saved camera angles. You can see here, again, just a saved view. And we can also select some of the elements and edit them over here. You can see there's a different view from the yard. Kitchen, which is just loading. Give it a second. Just zoom in. There you are. Anything in 3D, you can change the settings on the bottom here to view and hide elements. So what we can do is we can hold this to see the shadows. We can use this to visualize the model in different ways. So this is wireframe. This is hidden line, shaded, consistent colors, etc. You can also use this option over here, which allows us to view the geometry to different levels of detail. So if I zoom in here, I'll change this to more coarse, you can see we get some of the details that disappear. Same applies for the other views. You can see this is a sectional perspective as well. And we can also see some of the elevation information saved. So over here, annotated with flow heights, etc. Levels, sorry. And sections also. You see here, and if we go on course, you can see that some of that information becomes less detailed. Longitudinal section. We're just changing the different options. So hopefully that was a useful overview of the Revit interface and how to use it. The next tutorial, we're going to be modeling a small project hands-on, so we understand how to work with Revit geometry and BIM, and how to extract floor plans and sections from them as well.